I think it's working off my phone. You're gonna have to hum. There's no music. Why are you not playing music?
Yeah.
Oopsie. Hi, everybody. We've got the two of us. There's no producer, and you know, a couple technical difficulties, maybe. I don't know. Here you come. All right. Caught us live. Yeah, well, you know, the surprise 2:52 in the afternoon Facebook Live. Exactly when we always come live, right? I didn't disappear off the face of the earth after retirement. I'm just, see, look, the people on the West Coast, this is great. Okay. Hi, everyone. You all remember Gwen and Gabby, who's scratching. And Sarah's semi-asleep in the corner. We're hoping it stays that way. We'll see. There's a boss lady sign behind us. I'm not sure who's in charge, but whatever. It's Gabby. So the baby. Yeah, the baby pretty much is in charge. It's amazing. It's amazing. Is Gwen going to keep Gabby? She is really cute with Sarah, isn't she?
No more animals for Gwen.
No, and let me tell you, Gabby loves curling up with the baby, but she's scared to death of Gwen's dogs. Even though Gwen's dogs just want to sniff her and play with her, and she's just like, whoa. So anyway, Gabby is pretty attached to me. Okay. So, hello from all over the place. We got Palm Springs, we got Oregon, we got Canada. Did I retire? I did retire as of Friday from my day job, my other day job, from the clinics. And so I am being a part-time grandma, which I can't wait till that's a full-time grandma, but, we're down in North Carolina visiting Gwen and Brandon and Sarah and, helping out at NHP, Naturally Healthy Pets, for a little bit. So Crystal Adams rabies detox info, listen 30C, LYSSIN. Just give a dose of that the day of the vaccine. So we have some new products that we want to talk about. Gwen happens to be wearing one of them. Give me the dog for a sec. So we have Naturally Healthy Pets t-shirts. Yeah, that's pretty good, Gwen. It says Your Pet's Advocate, and then it just has the website and the @Judy Morgan DBM with the caricature on it. And the front has our logo. They are only in white at this point, but sticking with our pledge to try to be nice to the environment and keep things natural, they are partially recycled material in them. They're very soft. They're actually very comfy. I've had one as well. So they just went live on the website, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. So if you're interested in having a Naturally Healthy Pets t-shirt, they are available. Brandon said something about for our Friday night drinking club. Some of you drink tea, I know, but many of you are having martinis with me on Friday nights with our supporters. Brandon thinks we need a different t-shirt for that. So we shall see. We shall see. Gwen says they run a little small. She's wearing a medium. Mm-hmm. Gwen's not a small person. She's 5'10". But they're unisex medium, and so they're running a tiny bit small. So maybe order the next size up from what you normally would.
Or just like a regular, like if you're a female, order like your female size instead of sizing up for unisex.
Yeah, sizing down. Yeah, don't size down. Okay. So we have a bunch of new products in the warehouse, and I said that I was going to start on Monday talking about them. And Monday we're on the road all day, and then yesterday the day just got away from us. Frankly, it really did. So I'm just going to talk about a few of them today. We'll do a few tomorrow. If we're still here, we'll do some Friday. Otherwise, we'll patch Gwen in from far, far away because we have to go home at some point. And we'll talk about them. So first things first, CoQ10, you know that we've had the RX vitamins, I know it's like looking in a mirror. We've had the RX vitamins, there, yeah, you're getting there. Okay. Can you pat your head and nod your tongue? We've had the RX vitamins CoQ10 on the website for a long time, but it's only a 30 milligram capsule. And as you know, as I've done more and more research for the mitral valve disease and supplementation, we've discovered that higher doses actually work much better for our animals, particularly those with heart disease. And there's a reason for it. CoQ10, it stands for coenzyme Q10. The Q is ubiquinol or quinol, and the 10 actually has to do with, they call it the number of tails on it, but it's the chemical formula of it when you see it written out on paper. It has something to do with the ATP cycle. For those of you who remember from biochem or chemistry or biology, those things way back that we prefer to never have to talk about ever again. CoQ10 is made naturally in our bodies, our dogs, cats' bodies. It is found naturally in highest concentrations in oily fish, organ meats, and whole grains. As we age and as our pets age, the amount of CoQ10 that our body makes decreases. And for animals and people with heart disease, the amount of CoQ10 that we make is even lower, which is why we have found that we need to have higher doses in order for it to actually provide the beneficial effects in the body. So what does it do? It controls the flow of oxygen within our cells, so oxygen in and out. And that's really important because we don't survive without oxygen. It is an antioxidant. It decreases oxidation and free radical production. Free radicals are the things that contribute to cancer in our bodies and inflammatory processes in our bodies. So CoQ10, very effective for animals with heart disease, whether it's DCM or mitral valve disease, any kind of heart disease, very, very effective. Periodontal disease, it actually improves the health and decreases the size of periodontal pockets. In our household, the adult people take a couple hundred milligrams of CoQ10. My dad, I had for his Parkinson's, I had him on 1,200 milligrams a day. If I could have gotten my dad to eat a good diet, we could have made a huge difference. But he was a sugar junkie, so we just let him eat a sugar. It was too hard to argue with him. But I did give him a bunch of supplements to try to help him feel better in the long run. It is cardioprotective for animals that are undergoing chemo. And if they're given a chemo drug called adriamycin, which is very, very hard and definitely causes cardiac damage, this will help protect from that. And we're going to use it in pretty high doses. It can interfere with chemo because it's an antioxidant. Some chemo protocols actually use drugs that cause oxidation as part of their process. So if you're using this in a pet with cancer that is undergoing chemo, you must ask your oncologist if there's a problem using an antioxidant. This will help with animals with increased blood pressure, helps with any kind of autoimmune disease or immune dysfunction, effective for diabetics at helping decrease the inflammation that we have going on with those guys. Chronic kidney disease, really, really important because most chronic kidney disease is an inflammatory process. Cognitive dysfunction in our seniors, again, we're going with the higher doses. So for the bigger dogs, we definitely want 200 milligrams twice a day. The only side effect you really can't overdo. In human studies, they've looked at giving 3,600 milligrams a day to a normal average size human with no side effects, long-term studies. So the only thing that we see in some dogs with high doses is potentially a softening of the stool. And if you get that, then you just need to back down. So what we got is a 200 milligram, and then we have a 60 milligram. This particular company, their 100 milligram also had hawthorn in it, and because it's used for cardioprotective effects. I was a little concerned about having a product that already had hawthorn in it, since we have so many dogs with heart disease that are already on pimobendan, they're on supplements that have hawthorn. We just didn't want to overdo that. So we have the 30 milligram from RX Vitamins, we have a 60 and a 200. Our dogs, our little tiny dogs, because they all have heart disease, They get 200 milligrams twice a day. So it's up to you to figure out where you want your pets to be. Is 100 milligrams enough for a 15 to 20 pound dog? Particularly for a healthy dog, absolutely fine. So a lot of people with Cavaliers and Bichons and breeds, Chihuahuas that are prone to heart disease or dental disease, a lot of people email me and say, well, my dog doesn't have any of that yet, but I want to help ward it off. When should I start this and how much should I use? You could go with the lower doses. For a really tiny dog, you could do the 30 milligram. For the 15 to 30 pound dog, you could do the 60 milligram, no problem. And you might only need it once a day in a younger pet. Remember, their bodies are making quite a bit of it until they get older. Is it good for vestibular issues? It would be, depending on what is causing the vestibular issue. And we have another product we're going to talk about that may be helpful for that as well. Actually, both of the next two. So got different CoQ10 for you guys. Now is a company that we really like because
great.
It's all, these are human supplements. They're human grade. This is the same brand that we take ourselves. Okay. All right. So that's the first one. Went fast with on Hawthorne, no problems. Yeah, I mean, the problem is I didn't want to get a CoQ10 that had more Hawthorne in it if you're already giving a Hawthorne supplement and they're on Pimobendan, and it was combining too many things. I need to keep it fairly simple so that we don't end up causing one group not to be able to use a good quality CoQ10 product. So there's no problem giving Hawthorne. It's just we don't want to give bunches and bunches and bunches and have it coming. Like sometimes I'll do a consultation with somebody with a dog with heart disease, and they find every cardiac supplement available that is recommended for dogs with heart disease. And by the time I'm talking to them, they're using 20 different ones, and we start adding up how much taurine, how much carnitine, how much Hawthorne, how much, whatever. And we start adding it up, and it's like, holy cow, like we're really up there. And most of those herbs are very safe, but there's a toxic level for almost everything. So we just want to be careful with that. Okay. All right. Nate says, I called the manufacturer. It's great. They use carob to make the pill dark, so it's safe. I don't know what you're talking about. So Hawthorne's not a problem. You just have to look at how many ways you have it coming in. Okay. So the next one we want to talk about is NAC, which is N-Acetyl cysteine, which is a modified form of the amino acid cysteine, which is found in grains. So when we talk about these DCM dogs, when they were talking about, oh, you have to have grains in the diet, no, what they really need is taurine in their diet, which is found in meat and organs of fish. But these pet food companies with the grain-free products, they've replaced a lot of the meat protein with pea protein, and that's kind of where the problem comes in. Dogs are capable of making taurine from cysteine and methionine. Just left my brain. So they can make, I hope that's right, they can make taurine. Anyway, cats cannot, which is why cats are obligate carnivores and have to have meat in their diet for the taurine, or they go into heart failure. So the N-acetylcysteine is another antioxidant. So all those things that I talked about, inflammatory diseases, chronic kidney disease, diabetes, any of the chronic inflammatory diseases, this is another antioxidant that can be very helpful. The real reason I got this is not because of its antioxidant effects, which, by the way, for dogs with degenerative myelopathy, this is supposed to be incredibly helpful for those dogs. And we do see a lot of aging corgis, shepherds. Any dog can get degenerative myelopathy, DM, but there are certain breeds that are really more prone to it. And this is something that has proven to be pretty helpful for those dogs. Definitely good for chronic kidney disease, respiratory inflammation in kitty cats, so those chronic herpes, upper respiratory things, FIV in cats, which I thought that was really interesting when I was doing the research for it, that it said it was really helpful for that. But the real reason I got it is because it's mucolytic, which means it breaks down mucus and phlegm. So this is a phlegm drainer. This would go in that category of foods that are the phlegm drainers, like the clams and the pears and the peppermint. So this is in that category. The real reason I found this particular product is because of PSOM, the glue ear in Cavaliers. Not that other breeds can't get it, but it's fairly common in Cavaliers. Stewie has it. And I had written about it in my first book, From Needles to Natural, totally forgot about it. Then we get Stewie, who has glue ear. Do I remember to put him on it? No. I was doing a consultation with somebody and they said, oh, I got the NAC because it was in your book for my dog's glue ear. And I went, okay, yeah, totally forgot about that. So we got it. But it thins secretions in the lungs. So for instance, if we had a pet with chronic pneumonia, a pet that is coughing up a lot of phlegm, who's secreting a lot of phlegm. So I just did a consultation earlier today for somebody whose dog has dry eye. And I hadn't really considered, wow, maybe we should be, maybe we should start this for George. See, here you go. This is how I think of these things for my poor dogs. There's more stuff in their bowl than there is food. But when we have phlegm production and we want to decrease phlegm, this is a way that we can do it. Again, human grade product. How do we dose the NAC? I think we have a dose on the website. For Stewie, I am actually giving him a whole capsule twice a day. He's about 18 pounds. I probably could get away with a half a capsule twice a day, but then I have to empty out half and save half, and I just give him the whole thing because it's not dangerous. Okay. All right. So that's that one. All right. Last one we're going to talk about today, and then we'll do more tomorrow. So this one is Beta-Sitosterol. Big fancy name, but it's plant sterols. So plant sterols are, so in Chinese herbal medicine, the most common plant sterol that we use is licorice. Plant sterols have a lot of the effects that a steroid might have without any of the side effects. But the difference is steroids are very commonly immune suppressive. These are not immune suppressive as much as they're immune balancing. So they get the immune system to even out. It can be used along with prednisone, can be used with chemotherapy. For humans, this is used for cardiac health. It helps with FIV in kitty cats, any kind of autoimmune condition. So I first got turned, this is how much I learned from clients. I first got turned on to using plant sterols. Somebody came in with a German Shepherd that had masticatory myositis, which is basically the nerves that innervate the muscle, the chewing muscles on the top of the head of the dog, get an autoimmune problem, and the nerves get killed off and the muscles die. First of all, it starts out very painful, but then basically it's numb and the muscles disappear. So the dogs have no muscle on their head and they look like a skull with skin and hair, and it sinks in. When we have dogs that are on immune suppressing doses of steroids like prednisone for long periods of time, we will also see that same problem because basically those nerves are not functioning anymore. When you take them off steroids, a lot of times that will come back, but not always. But this dog came in, it was a Shepherd, and they said, well, we didn't want to use steroids. We didn't want all the side effects. We used plant sterols, and the dog had been on the plant sterols for a couple of years, and its head was beautiful. It had no pain. It did really, really, really well. So that was my introduction to them. Can be used for stomatitis. We see a lot of kitty cats with stomatitis, a lot of the FIV kitties, and this helps with balancing out the immune system with those FIV kitties. Chronic allergies can be extremely helpful. Like I said, it can be used with pred, and it can help with cancer and help balancing out the immune system to help the immune system fight the cancer. It does take time to work. It's not a quick fix. So if you have an itchy dog and you want them to stop itching tomorrow, this isn't going to do it like a prednisone pill would do. Prednisone is a quick fix. That's what drugs do. We use drugs short-term for the quick fix, but then we need the long-term fix, and this is something that can help balance out that immune system. It does have some fish oil in it because for better absorption and bioavailability, which means the body can actually use it, it needs to be given in an oil base. So this is in a fish oil base. And that's the reason for that. But the fish oils are anti-inflammatory too. So, okay. All right. I think, let's see. Let's just say Now brand I've been using for over 40 years. Very reliable, reputable. Yeah, we went to the company. We actually asked them if we could private label, and we designed our labels, and they were all excited. We were all excited. And then they went, oh, poo, you want to market these for animals? The FDA isn't going to allow us to do that without going through, the 7 years of testing, blah, 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 blah. You can use all of these in animals. They're quite safe for the animals. However, without all those studies, we can't label it for animals. So we're using their label. and they're dosing, but we do have dosing on the website. So, okay. Live from New Zealand. That's awesome. I love turning this on and seeing where people are from. Okay, we got to get going because we're going to great-grandma and grandpa's house, for dinner with Sarah Marie.
Our weekly family dinner.
Weekly family dinner that Hugh and I get to tag along today. So we'll see you tomorrow. I have no idea what time. Our mornings, you know, that little tiny person kind of puts a monkey wrench in the mornings. And getting here in time to do, I've had consultations all week. So trying to get those done. Yeah, I'm on the retirement schedule. Okay, I can't do music. It's too complicated without Hugh. So, you guys tomorrow, sometime, to be announced at a later date. Bye.